Ladies and gentlemen, check this blade out. This is the HMKarambit. Now the name is subject to change. There's a lot of cool names on Reddit. People came up with this. Maybe some of you saw this on Reddit. This is a cool knife, and it's taken me a really long time to design it and come up with all the dimensions necessary to actually, make it real. And there's a lot of work, especially back here and where the ring is and stuff like that, that really make it nice in the hand. And I like skeletonized full steel handles. I really do like them, even though I have the options here where you can either do a full katana style wrap with your paracord, or you can put your own scales, or you can do both. I recommend both. I recommend you put your scales there, make it kind of narrow and flush here, and then use this ring to put yourself a cord around the back end there. Especially if your skin on your hands is a little soft. Now this is initially grounded as a Scandi grind, and then touched off with a convex, so that we have this type of really intense grind. This is the first one that I've finished, and I've been playing around and testing it and abusing the heck out of it. And 80 CRV2 is amazing steel. Now, granted, this is 6.2 millimeters thick. This finished product here, this weighs 300. No, sorry. I need to weigh it again. I have a scale here. 385 grams. So it's also slightly shorter than 25 centimeters long, 250 millimeters. So for this size blade, generally a blade that's 2 centimeters longer, like an inch longer or something than this, will be like 50 grams lighter with a handle. So this is a hefty blade, and it's got a lot of heft. So let's go to the ring. This is probably what people are quite interested in. This ring here, all this metal here eats up all the space, right? So if you want to use the ring as a blunt weapon, as a blunt implement, you can, and the forces will be distributed into your wrist, right? So you don't have to worry about any dead space building up anywhere. And you see there's also, it's not splitting up the fingers. The two fingers are in direct contact with each other. So there isn't too much going on there to cause any harm to the bone structure. And of course, the edge of the blade protrudes just far enough out so that, tactically speaking, you can be more tactical. And here we go. I like this blade a lot because it's the space between the. It kind of acts like a pommel, in a sense, and at the same time, there's enough space to put your three fingers there, so you can use it kind of like a cooking knife or a butcher's knife, like a cleaver if you want to. For skinning, this is great, with the pistol grip especially, so you can push the meat away, you can work your way around the bone, you can, So it kind of takes the shape, I think it's called, of an ulu knife, those Eskimo skinning knives that are pretty effective. And that's, this is just a beefed up version of a lot of that. The convex grind I chose because it's just awesome performance. People loving it right now on YouTube. I used to do it many years ago, but then it just I was like, you know what? Let's just do some other knives for a while, and but it's back. And the goal with this project, what I'm really hoping for, is that I eventually make it out of L-Max, and I'll have a plastic injection molded handle back here, and that somebody other than me can produce them for me, like Falcon even. That would be the coolest thing ever. But so far, a few of these I'll be making myself, and a batch of them. So I have the data. I have all the data to get these cut. So you see, they come out of the shop like that. So there's a whole bunch of them, and they're very sick. Quite thick metal, and 80 CRV too. So I got the PDFs and the cutting pads and all that kind of stuff. But yes, this took me 8 years, 100+ prototypes. I've forged several hundred karambits of different types. Now, karambit to me is just something that has a ring at the back, right? The shape of the blade is not what defines to me what a karambit is. But it took a super long time to figure out all these dimensions, where to put this hole and all that stuff. So yeah, I like it the way it is. It's just spot on. And another benefit is now, because it's so thick and the blade is actually quite tall, this is like a guard. This is very good amount of material right there to snug up against your fingers. So it acts as a really, really decent place for your hands to be, but it doesn't also have like anything stopping you from running the edge over a stone, like when you're sharpening. So very, very convenient for sharpening when it's like this. Very, very nice. The next one like this that I'm gonna make is a single bevel for myself. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. These are available on my Etsy page. It's called the HMKarambit. The name is subject to change. I've got some people on Reddit. I think some of you might recognize this. I don't know if I said this in the beginning, but I posted a picture or a video on Reddit to see if people could come up with a cool name for it. So yeah, a whole bunch of these will be shipped off for heat treating at a facility. It's much better to get your knives heat treated that way. Anybody who knows heat treating will probably say that you should always get them outsourced. So yeah, look at that. Isn't that great? And I really can't wait until I've gone. My goal, of course, is to spend now a lot of this year producing this product, making it, selling it. People can put their own handles on. I'll do some with some handles on too. You know, people might, reach out. I have an idea to do one out of cast brass that has skulls in it. That's going to be super cool. But again, those are not cheap knives, and it takes quite a bit of time to grind down and hand sharpen and do all that kind of stuff on a blade this thick to get this kind of bevel. But yeah, and for feathering, it's amazing. When you got a convex edge like this, it's just awesome for creating feather sticks, for chopping. It just goes right through. For batoning, this is great. When you got this kind of height and this kind of thickness, there's a point, in that log where it's just going to give in, and it's most of the time going to be before this blade is all the way in. So it doesn't need to be long because it's so tall. So when you're batoning, it's going to make its way down into the log, right? So height, I think, is kind of nice for batoning. Yeah. So the way this is called the rivet lock, and that's so that you can suspend it upside down in a sheath. This is a 2-layer Kydex sheath, so 4 millimeters together. Generally, I do something like this, or like this, but I didn't do it with this one. So I hang it around like this under my armpit, under a jacket, so I can take it with me in the forest if I need to chop some branches out of the way and stuff like that. I don't want to put a handle on this one. I'm just going to leave it skeletonized because I like, personally, skeletonized steel handles. It's just the way I like to roll, and it'll allow me to see more clearly, like, where there's some improvements that need to be made. And I'll make some more that have handles, of course, at some point in time. But right now, this is a knife, and this is a pretty awesome knife. And you can come and get them from me at my Etsy shop. If you just search the HMKarambit, or you find me on Instagram, you can join me on Discord. I think there's only like one extra person there on Discord, so I'm gonna let's hang out and talk knives. Instagram is really good for reaching out to me. Unfortunately, Instagram doesn't do much to help the average person grow, so you got to do a lot of extra work than just Instagram. And but yeah, here it is, the HMKarambit, the hot metal karambit, ladies and gentlemen, the nastiest karambit you're gonna find. This is my most proud moment. This is my most proud product. This is, to me, almost 8 years of work and hundreds and hundreds of prototypes. So nice and thick. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely awesome. Perfect for grinding your herbs, skinning, chopping. You can put 2 fingers in there if you want. If you need to go put your hand over the side of the boat, you can put your finger in there so the knife doesn't drop out. Tactically speaking, this ring is really sound because it allows people to bring it out with a lot of confidence from their sheath and use it as an impact tool. All that space is filled up just like a brass knuckle, or you can use it like a Viking hatchet. So very, very firm, very, very solid grip, very solid product. 6.3 millimeters thick or 6.2 millimeters thick, ADC RB2 carbon steel, fully heat treated. It's wicked. It's wicked. It's a nasty one, and it cuts. It cuts. It cuts. It cuts. I've been using this a lot outside, and everything is frozen. All the wood is frozen, so it hasn't had a problem uh, chopping through frozen wood and shaving. So y'all have a good day. I'll catch y'all later. I gotta get driving. This is the HMKarambit, the hot metal karambit. Soon available on my website. You can still you can pre-order them. You can get them on Etsy. You can reach out to me on Instagram, where you're gonna find it there too, and we can discuss that. I make you buy it and then I make it, and I'll be making them more also in my free time. But let's keep it real, guys. Let's keep it real.